Does his internet kicked off right now?
My Wi-Fi's dropping out at a very impromptu moment then. But yeah, we're back. We've probably not been on as often as we should have been of late, but there we go. Hopefully quality over quantity will prevail. So good evening, everyone. We're back tonight for a preview of the weekend's racing, Friday, Saturday's racing at Cheltenham. And we've got almost a full crew. Do not adjust your screens. Matty Luke isn't with us, unfortunately. We have heard that he's fallen down the stairs last night, but we've also heard that he's all right. So wishing you all the best, Matty. We don't think there's any serious injuries. He's just been held up in a meeting this evening. So yeah, Matty will hopefully be on with us soon. So we've got Ian Rayman is with us, Alex, Jonny, and a very special guest tonight, Mr. Graham Fletcher, who I've got the great pleasure of meeting for the first time. Evening, Graham.
Evening. Great to be on. Thank you for the invite. So
I've heard Mr. Fletcher, who I've only met virtually previously in an old Facebook racing group we had. Enemy number one for Gregory Hughes, bookmaker. And he's also the voice of Radio Winchcombe, I do believe. So
absolutely.
And an extremely shrewd judge. So bit of a treat for anybody watching tonight, folks. Yeah. Plenty to pay attention to. So, racing Friday, Saturday, Cheltenham. Ian, boss, anything else before we get started that I may have forgotten?
No, just a big thank you to Racing Pins as normal, and you'll see the promotional video at the end. But no, let's go for it, OJ.
Let's crack on. Okay, so we're gonna have a quick look at Friday's cards. Obviously, declarations were made by 10 o'clock this morning, so we've got a fair idea on Friday. Saturday is a less clear picture at the moment. We'll probably have a look at a couple of the big races and then ask the lads if there's anything they fancy elsewhere. So, on Friday, we kick off at 12:10 with a novice hurdle over 2 miles. And I'd like to come to Graham first, but I think I've got an inkling that, we have to start the show in a traditional manner. Ian, whose horse would you be backing in the first?
Oh, funny enough, I want to go with the Henderson mare. That's nice. Nico on board carrying 10-13 since you've got the mare's allowance. Walk in the park mare, I should say. Who's produced like Duvan and Min and John Bon. She won last time out 2 mile 3 at Warwick, beating Honky Tonk Highway, the Skeltons, who I think won at Sandown last Saturday. So that's strength the form. Potentially could be a nice mare for the mare's novice hurdle, which I think is the plan in a minute. And Wingmen, I do have in my track, and I'm quite interested in. But I just think that piece of form with Honky Tonk Highway could be the factor in the allowance. So it'll be that's nice for me, OJ.
So the Henderson horse for Ian. Surprise, surprise. People will be shocked to hear that. So yeah, we've got that out of the way now. You can get on to others here. So Graham,
in the room.
The elephant in the room is gone. Yeah, 4 in a race. Have you had a look at this one, Graham?
I had a quick look at it, and I think there's only one horse to pick in this race for $8,000 for the winner. That's a Henderson type race, isn't it? Really. So that's nice for me. I think the allowance that she's going to get. I've seen Wingman win a couple of times recently, but I think at Cheltenham on first race, I think Nico de Bon will steer. That's nice to a very nice win, I think.
Lovely. Thank you, Graham. So 2 selections for the Henderson horse. Alex, is it going to be a hat trick?
To be honest, OJ, I've not really got any strong opinion on this race. I mean, she's clearly the right favourite, but I mean, at that price, it's not really one for me. I mean, she's a shade of odds on in most places now. Only 4 runners in the race, so there's no real each way value. So it's a no bet race for me. I'll enjoy a beer during this race, and I'm sure Ian will be wanking at the end.
That'll be your hair of the dog beer, will it? After the work.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure I'll have had a few before then, OJ.
First leg of a Barney Rebel, that is, Alex, I think.
It could be, yeah.
Or a Hendo double.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian loves a Hendo double. Nearly as much as a tri-cast in a graded race. Go on then, Jonny. Have you had a look at this one, mate?
Yeah, I'm going to take on the favourite with Wingman. Gordon could be sending him over just to put a gauge on his other runners, to be honest. But I quite liked his bumper form. Quite liked him as a bumper horse. He did well. I think he does need to probably improve his jumping a little bit. I think he was jumping a little bit right on his debut, but he did get better as he warmed up, as he went a bit quicker. If you look at the RPRs, he's actually got one of 127. Well, the favourites is only 120, so that would put him quite close on weights if you're going down the RPR route. So that might negate that weight. Is it £6? Is it? Yeah, I'm going to go with Wingman. £7, I think, isn't it actually? So yeah, I'm going to stick with a Gordon one this time.
Okay. So the Irish Raider for Jonny, and that's nice for Graham and Ian. Alex will be in the bar. Okay, we move along to the 1240 SSS Super Alloys Novices Chase of 2.5 mile. I think wasn't this the novices race that Ginny's Destiny won last year? I do believe with
Grey Dawn.
Grey Dawn in second, and what's the Kim Bailey horse that Alex likes? Trelawn third.
Yeah, Trelawn.
It was obviously quite a strong race last year. So we got Springwell Bay, won recently. Very it was about 1 to 5, wasn't it? At Carlisle the other week, I think. Caldwell Potter, sorry, was the one that was ran at Carlisle, wasn't it? So anybody got anything strong in here that sticks out, Graham? Do you want to kick it off?
I'm interested to see Caldwell Potter run at Cheltenham. He's certainly been a talking horse ever since Fergie and his crew bought it for €740,000, I think it was. It jumped really well and very impressively at Carlisle. So it'd be great to see it run around Cheltenham on a bit of an undulating track and see where it goes from there, because I think they've got great ideas or great plans for it in the future. Just depends on what level they want to go and attack for. But I saw an interview with Fergie on Sunday, and he said his jumping was spectacular at Carlisle. So they're looking forward to placing him somewhere, letting him run somewhere where they hope he's going to reappear in March time somewhere. I don't know which race he could be aimed at, but he looks a prospect and a half, to be honest.
Lovely. Jonny, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a bit like Alex on the last one. It's a no-bet race for me, this. Fully expect Caldwell Potter to win quite well. The one I'm going to keep an eye on in this is Springwell Bay, as you mentioned earlier, OJ, but purely with respect to a handicap at the festival. I can't see him wanting to get too close to the winner in this race. So I just want to see how he jumps, really, and see if they'll pitch him in one of the big handicaps in March.
Okay. We'll go to Alex.
Yeah, similar to Jonny, sort of with thought on Springwell Bay. I mean, he's already got a mark of 145, and that's the top end mark, I think, for the turners, isn't it? Or the new turners while it's a handicap. So, yeah, similar to Jonny, I think that he's probably going to have an eye on that. I think Caldwell Potter's too short for me. I mean, the one I'll be siding with is Django Bay, who gets £5 off him. I think he was a really good hurdler, and I think he'd be an even better chaser. He won that Grade 1 Formby Novices hurdle, and he had some good seconds after that. He was also second at Aintree in April. He was actually really badly hampered 2 out as well. He finished second behind Katira, and I think he'd have won that day if he hadn't been so badly hampered. So I'm going to take a chance on him that he'd improve enough over fences, plus then with a £5 difference in the weights, then be better than finish ahead of Caldwell Potter.
Ooh, controversial. Thank you, Al. And Ian, is it another Hendo horse?
No, nothing for me, OJ. I basically echo what Jonny was saying. Caldwell Potter, I think, will probably be the winner, but Django Bay seems to have second-itis, and Springwell Bay's run over 3 miles. I think it was Highland who beat it. Was it October or November? Dropping back down to like a distance he should be better at. But yeah, no selection for me, OJ.
Okay. Thank you, fellas. So Caldwell Potter, there was certainly a fair bit of money on those Caldwell construction horses when I went to the sales last year, wasn't there? Some pretty hefty price tags. Okay.
I think Fergie said that his previous owners were trying all they could to try and keep him if they could, and trying to get as many people to invest in it. Elliot was trying everywhere to try and get people to invest in it, but 740,000 euros is a huge sum of money. He won't win that back, will he? He won't get that back. He won't win that get that back.
No, absolutely.
That'd be a very good horse to win that back, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Interesting to watch. Okay, thank you, gents. Okay, 115. We got the Catesby Estates handicap hurdle, 2 mile, well, just over 2 mile. Valgrand dropping back in trip. We like the debut run from Valgrand, didn't we? But I think we all agreed, didn't we, that dropping back to 2 miles was the way he had to go. What do you think of the mark, Al? 139.
It's high, isn't it? I'm deserting him again. I was with him in October, and I've deserted him twice since. And I'm going with Woolmount. He was a real talking horse, wasn't it, at the beginning of last season? And some people were saying he's a supreme type. Obviously bolted up at Newbury. Then he was far too keen over 2.5 miles in the Challow on very soft ground. And then we didn't see him again. I saw he was a non-runner last week at Sandown on heavy ground. He's off a mark of 130. I mean, if he's anywhere nearly as good as what they said he was going to be, then he should be winning this off 130. And then the one I'd give a shout out to a little bit further down, who's a nice double figure price for an each way one, would be Cavern Club. He was a very good second to Reckless Eric in November. He was only beaten at length, and he made a really bad mistake at the last as well. He's actually £3 better off as well, and he's bottom of the handicap. Plus, John Joe Jr.'s off, and Bowen's on. I think Bowen's a much better jockey than him. So a nice each way price for me. That'll be my two.
A trainer who's catching the eye as well.
Definitely. He's had a lot of good results recently, hasn't he, old James Owen? So, yeah, those would be my two. Woolmount, I think, will win, but then Cavern Club, a nice little each way price, is still available. I think you get 14, 16 to 1 in places. So, yeah, I wouldn't put anyone off having a few quid on him each way.
Lovely. Thank you, Al. I was going to go to Jonny, but his screen's just he's there. We saw the fist raised when Alex picked Woolmount. So, not worried about the break then, John? I mean, he's won off the back of breaks before, so.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, he has been off the track almost a year, but I literally had the same things written down that Alex said, that you can excuse one disappointing run in the Challow last year. Don't think the ground was the best that day, was it?
It was awful.
I'm absolutely convinced. I mean, we know he's better than a 130 horse. I'm absolutely convinced on that. So like Alex said again, that he should be going really close in this. I mean, at fours, it's a fair price. It's almost an each way to nothing, isn't it? If he drifts a little bit, or you get a boost on the morning of the race, then that's got to be an each way to nothing for me, the old filthy each way. If I'm going to pick one down the order, well, not pick one really, but the other interesting one is, but I see Bo Zenith is back after 18 months off the track, and he's gone to Nicky as well in the same silk. So not sure if I'm going to have a bet on him yet, because I'm not sure, convinced he'll turn up, but just see how he gets on, because he was quite highly thought of as well, wasn't he? And then he's been off the track, like I say, for 18 months. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes.
He was with Gary Moore, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He was one that was being touted for the Triumph, wasn't he, a couple of years ago, and didn't really follow through with it. So, yeah, well, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's a big price, 16 to 1, I think. So, he might be worth a couple of quid if he goes.
Okay, lovely. Ian, come along to you, mate.
Well, I think the guys have been reading my notes. I put I've actually noted what what Alex was said about Cavern Club and in the distance, and I think with Reckless Eric, like you said, I think he was I think I found it he needs to find 7 lengths on Cavern Club. I'm not sure if my maths is correct, so because I think he was giving Cavern Club £8 last time for a length. He won by a length, and as for Val, I'm a fan of Valgrand as well, but I think that top weight is going to be far too much. But the one I'm going to come down on is a horse called To Chase a Dream. Won his last 3 races. I think it was 2 this season, both at Carlisle Class 3. More convincing last time out. He beat Hardy de Soy by 6.5 lengths. I think he's gone up £7 to a mark of 127. And I think the booking of Harry Cobden is quite eye catching as well for Paul Collins. So I'll be going with him To Chase a Dream.
Irish Raider for Ian. Okay, lovely. And then Graham, wrap this up for us. Give us the winner.
I picked out Valgrand, but I was a bit disappointed in the last race. I know he went up in trip, but the Skelton's really talked it up a little bit, and I thought he was going to be better than he was. So that's probably put me off Valgrand. Will Mount, again, what Alex has said, I think he's pulled up in the Challow, and Henderson wouldn't be starting him in this race if he didn't think he was ready. I wouldn't think. To Chase a Dream I like. Won twice at Carlisle recently, and at Doncaster before that. So I think that's got a really good shout and a good price as well. Cavern Club, I noticed that he ran at Chester back in July 24 on the flat. Then he went to the lovely Cartmel and won at Cartmel in July 24 as well. So he's had a bit of a run around different places. I think he's got a sneaky chance. I think James Owen is one of the many trainers in form, according to ITV anyway, ITV Racing. Alice Plunkett tells everybody's in their trainers are in form. And I think
got a nickname for him as well, hasn't she, Graham?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She knows everybody as she does. And I think Sean Bowen, the jockey in form. So I think I'll have a little sneak on Cavern Club, actually. 10-1.
Lovely. Oh, I'm liking that, boys. Thank you very much. So Alex and Graham both keen on Cavern Club. I'm just gonna grab the old
50p's
Get it ready. 16 to 1's a nice price. Okay, so Cavern Club for Graham and Alex. Alex and Jonny also both very keen on Will Mount. And for Ian, it was the Irish horse To Chase a Dream. Thank you, gents. Right, we'll move swiftly along to the 150 handicap chase over 3 mile 2. This is the veterans race, is it?
Yes.
One before. Was it?
No.
Yeah, there's one before. 150.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry, it is.
Yes,
sorry, Ed. It is. It's the one with Chianti Classico and So who's not kicked us off yet? Jonny, you can lead the way on this one.
Yeah, Favourite does look a very good horse, but carrying a lot of weight in this. I actually do really like One Each Way, and that's the newest one, who ran quite well here in November to finish 4th. Just faded near the finish. Been dropped £4 for that run, which I think is more than fair, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't expect that much of a drop. He was carrying 11 stone 2 that day, but because of Chianti Classico in the race, he's carrying a feather on Friday, 10 stone 2. 7-1 seems a fair each way price to me. The only downside is probably the stable are not in the greatest form. They've only had one winner in December, which is a bit disappointing. But they normally come alive here, don't they? So hopefully that one can go in for us.
They started the season very well, didn't they, Twiston Davises?
They did, yes. Yeah. And they've just slipped a little bit. But where better to come back to form is on Friday at Cheltenham.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll go to Graham then, please.
I think one of my favourite horses from last year was Chianti Classico. The way it won at the festival was absolutely fantastic. Again, recently at Ascot it won, and it looked, coming first time out. Kim Bailey's trains just up the road from me in Andoversford near Fergles. He's not my favourite trainer, but we won't hold that against him. But I think the weight probably might be the biggest thing for him to carry this Saturday. I think 12 stone in what could be a bit gluey conditions, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. The one I fancy is King Turgeon. He jumped really well at Aintree to win round there. And I think with a featherweight on his back, 10 stone 4, Jack Tudor, jockey in form, David Pipe, trainer in form, Alice Plunkett's words, not mine. I think King Turgeon's going to have a great chance, I think.
Lovely. Thank you for that, Graham. Well, I think there's only one place we go. We go straight up above you. Ian, I have a feeling you could be thinking similar.
I am thinking very similar to Graham, and I'm a massive fan of Chianti Classico. He did win off last time. He won off a 12 stone, but I'm going to desert him and join Graham in backing King Turgeon as well. So he's won, as Graham said, he won at Aintree, I think over 2 mile 5. Ferrero Bamboo that was in the race has won since, and then he won over 3 mile 2 at Chepstow. And I think there's a couple of horses that frank the form. AJ
Hang on, Ian.
Kingdom.
Can I stop you there, Ian?
Yeah, you can.
Rain trees in Essex. Rain trees in Essex. Aintree. I think you went.
Aintree, not Braintree. I forgot. Okay.
Sorry, mate.
So yeah, at Chepstow, he won over 3 mile 2. Couple of horses that have backed the form is AJP Kingdom, and I think it's Les Airs Express has come out of one since. Shouldn't have any issues with the trip. And I think he's getting 1.5 stone from Chianti Classico, carrying 10-4. But yes, I'll join Graham with King Turgeon.
King Turgeon for Ian and Graham. Lovely. And Alex, of course. How could I forget?
To be honest, someone's already said what I wanted to say. I think they've copied my notes as well. That's Jonny. So yeah, I'm also on the newest one. Same rationale, no need to repeat. So yeah, the newest one for me.
Split decision here then.
You can make the deciding vote.
Okay.
OJ.
So I have to go with King Turgeon after I was at Aintree. I was at Aintree in April, so
Not Braintree.
Sorry, boys. So split vote: King Turgeon for Ian and Graham, and the newest one for Alex and Jonny. What do you boys think of Chianti Classico then? Because it was the Ultima one last year, wasn't it? Where do you think they go with this
for the National?
I think go for the National. I think Bailey said that he was going to go in for the National. I'm not sure he wants to do that. I don't know if he wants to do that yet. I don't know.
It'll be 8, won't it, by the time the National comes around? So that's not
bottom a horse out going to the National too early, can't you?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Winning this will do him no favours then, will it?
No,
not weight-wise.
He needs to pot around at the back over 2 miles or 2.5 miles for a couple of races, get a few pound off, then go National.
And I've noticed Kieran Geffins is on Chianti and not Tom Bellamy. I don't know if he's injured or suspended or elsewhere. Just noticed that.
He's not a bad jockey, though, is he, Kieran Geffins?
No, he's good.
He's good.
Didn't he win? He won the National last year, didn't he? Was he the winning jockey in the National last year? Could be wrong.
Port Townend, wasn't it? I just noticed that Chambard is running it as well with a Venetia horse. We haven't spoken about Venetia, have we, either? Because she's come alive in the last few weeks, hasn't she? So Lucy Turner's riding.
She's had her weather, hasn't she?
She has, yeah.
And before we go, Ballygriffin Cottage. Anybody? That was an old. Wasn't that pulled from Sandown on the weekend?
I went on Ginger Joe's show last week, and Jamie put it up for the racing that weekend. Obviously cancelled, and I was just thinking he's still living off that one performance at Kempton about 4 years ago. He'll probably go and dot up now, but I just wouldn't put any money on him. No interest.
Looks a good race, anyway. Right, thank you, boys. I must apologise. My Wi-Fi, I think, keeps freezing. I keep losing, getting black screens at the moment. So I'll try my best to keep going. I think we're on to the veterans race now, are we? We're doing the vets race. Yep, 225. 2.5 miler. What we got in here? Cheltenham Parry Redknapp Festival winner. Go on, Graham, you can kick us off here.
I picked a number out and just sort of going through different bits and pieces. So I think Cheltenham Parry's got to have a chance. Ben Paul is in good form, and his horses are running very well at the moment. I was interested in Seddon. Didn't Seddon run as over here at some point?
He won the
at the
plate last
festival.
year in
He did,
2023.
yeah.
Plate in
Right.
2022. Yep.
And he won at
2023.
the Stow Festival, I think the Stow Festival in September. He won at Killarney as well. So he's could be a bit of a mystery type horse because nobody probably knows what's going to run like, and he probably doesn't know himself probably. Shan Blue, he comes back from out of nowhere, doesn't he? Really, I suppose. Lost at Bangor-on-Dee last time, so I quite like Copperhead. I think he keeps on plugging away. He won at Aintree back in October. Was second on the 10th of November at Sandown. And the other one I noticed that at Warwick last time was Torn and Frayed. Came from a long way back, nipped up round the inside. Sam Dwiston-Davis throwing the kitchen sink at it, and he won easily in the end. So I'm a bit torn between the few here, but I think I might just go with Copperhead.
Lovely. Copperhead for Graham. Torn and Frayed of note as well, especially if the Twiston-Davises do come back to form. Right, where are we going next? Jonny, the old Dashel Drasher in here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know where to look when I saw this race. There's so many old favourites in it, isn't there? And the first one that caught my eye was Dashel Drasher, but I do prefer him over Hurdles these days, to be honest with you. I don't think he's won a chase since February 21, so I can sort of rule him out on that. I'm gonna side with McConnell trained Seddon. Like we said, he won the plate back in 2023, and he's only £2 higher now for that win. I just can't see him out of the places, to be honest with you. I think he'll be bang there. So I think me and Alex had him in that plate that year, didn't we? I think we won quite a bit on him. I remember him being in a few of my bets.
Lads on the Sunday, hadn't we? Me and Dex had when we were walking around the course.
Hadn't you spoken to someone,
right.
Alex?
That was it was one of the McConnell lads, yeah. And he said that their big fancy for the week was Seddon. So I told all the guys, and we got a few quid, and he did really well. So
yeah, so I've always been a fan of him since then. So sticking with the old Seddon.
Still with the McNeils, is it, Seddon?
No,
it's not.
he wasn't with the McNeils when he won the race at the festival.
Wasn't he?
No, he'd been sold before then.
Oh, right, okay.
The Galaxy Horse Racing Syndicate.
It's unlike me not to be on the ball, Alex. Okay.
Trained by John McConnell, isn't he, in Ireland?
Yeah.
Okay, Al. So are you back in the Seddon camp as well then?
No, I'm not. I like one at a nice 16-1 price, nice each way price to me. I like raffle ticket for Mel Rowley. There's a lot of horse in this race, which is sort of 3 milers, and he is a proper sort of 2.5 miler, so he should have enough. He should have plenty of pace. He's also quite lightly raced as well, considering he's he's 10. He's only actually run 13 times under rules. Sorry. He had last time out he won at Aintree, and the horse in second was Soul Icon, who actually ran pretty well for a long way, I thought, in the Henry VIII at the weekend at Sandown. His only wins have ever been on good or good to soft ground, so he clearly likes this kind of surface as well. I think he might have too much pace for some of these. Some of the sort of, there's a lot of horses in here that have won at 3.5 miles. So considering it's a 2.5 mile veterans race, and a lot of them are very much on the decline, he's won a couple of times recently. So I'm happy to take a chance at a nice double figure price. Get 16-1, 4 places. I think it's a decent bet for me. And Cobden's booked as well. Good jockey.
I was just going to say that, and I like the fact you had like a little glint in your eye coming into that one. Alex, you like that one a little bit there, don't you?
I do really fancy him.
Like that. Come on, boss man. Tell us what's happening.
No,
Your
no
cheeks are
selection for
looking
me,
nearly as
OJ.
rosy as mine.
Yeah,
No selection.
no selection.
Wow.
Go for the TriCast.
The simple one.
Okay, we'll let you off then, mate. Well,
Thank
we move across to the 3 o'clock, the cross country. We can only start with one person when it's a cross country race. We have to start with Alex. But before we do, I got to say, it looks a good field, doesn't it? For a change, it looks a really interesting race.
Look, a very good field, very competitive race, isn't it?
So come on then, mate. Tell us what's going to happen here.
Well, I've got a bit of a wild one here, OJ. I'm going to qualify first that I know that he's pulled up on 4 of his last 6 starts, and I know he's 50-1, but I quite fancy that Jevry for Gordon Elliott. I'm hoping switching to being over cross country will light him up again. He had some really good form actually in 2023 and sort of lost his way last year. He was 4th in the plate in 2023 behind obviously Seddon. The horse that was in 2nd was Fugitive, who went out to win the December Gold Cup next time out or time out after. The horse in 3rd that day was Shake 'em Up Harry, who then won the plate in 2024. And then the following race, he was then 2nd in the Munster National to I Am Maximus, who then obviously won the Grand National this year. He actually did win once last year, even though he sort of lost his way a bit. And he beat Cocoa Beach, beat him by 3 lengths. Cocoa Beach is actually
Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, I think he's 8-1 or something in this race. He's actually better off with him this time as well. 50-1's available, which I think is smashing each way value. James Bowen's booked as well. Good jockey. I just quite fancy setting a bigger price to sneak in the places. So that's my play.
Jevry for Alex. When you said, I know he's been pulled up the last 4 times, I honestly thought you were going to say the Goffer, because I was looking at the Goffer similarly, who was, I think, 66-1 earlier when I had a look. And
It wasn't the last 4 times. It was 4 of his last 6 runs.
Okay.
It's not 4 in a row. Not quite.
Okay.
Yeah,
lovely. Nice price.
Yeah, I think it might light him up. It does with some of these horses, don't they? They can go and have some terrible form and then go over these cross-country banks and stuff, and suddenly they're back to their best or somewhere near it. So, yeah, see what happens.
Lovely. And one of Alex's favourite races is the cross-country. I don't even have to go as low as the label area.
I gave you the winner last time, okay? I gave you the winner last time.
Come on, boss man.
Well, talking about horses that got form for pulling up, I want to go similar. I've got an each way chance, and the horse I like is called Arizona Cardinal. Currently about 11-1. I know he pulled up last time out at Chepstow, but he's had his win done last month. Before that, he won 3 races last season. He won the Topham at Aintree, and he beat horses like James de Burleigh, Can Do Kid, and I think who won the Coral Cup at Newbury. Was that in the last week or 2? Celebrator Allen, who at 12 won last time out as well. He's won a few times at the distance, but first time at the cross country circuit. And just a quick mention to Stuart Edmonds, I think he's got a 40% strike rate in a minute over the last 14 days, which is quite good form. So I'm going to do an each way Arizona Cardinal.
Lovely. Thank you, Ian. Graham, we'll come to you.
As Alex and Jonny know, I love the cross country. It's just the first fantastic race ever invented by man. 10 horses trained by Irish trainers in this race. That might suggest they might have a bit of an idea. They might know what they're doing. I watched the Stumptown race last time, and Stumptown he always gives his all, I have to say. He beat Cocoa Beach in that race. But I think it's putting a pin in it, really, isn't it, to be honest? I like Gavin Cromwell as a trainer. And I think Keith Donoghue is a very good jockey, very underrated jockey. So without any real knowledge about the French horse, and all the other names are just, well, they've had their day, haven't they, really, a little bit? Because I think they thought, did Elliot think that Delta Work would win the final at Cheltenham later in the year, in March time? Did he have a great word about Delta Work last time, I thought? I can't remember if he did or not. But a litany of Irish horses in there. So I think I'm going to stick with Stumptown, just because he's in form, really. But I hate the race anyway, so it
Lovely,
doesn't
thank
matter.
Well, he won last time,
Cromwell.
Graham. He was carrying 12 stone in Ireland
I
last
know,
time. So that's
I
no
know.
feat.
Yeah, it's a shocking race. Shouldn't be allowed.
Graham hates
Gavin
it, but
Cromwell
he's
did
back
all right.
winner. So
I
yeah,
was back the winner, but I hate it. It's a shocking race.
I've got to admit, I like Cromwell as a trainer. He was superb at Cheltenham last season.
Mm.
Okay, Jonny, finish it off for us.
Yeah, I've got nothing for you really in this, OJ. I'm not the greatest fan either. I'll just pick some out of the hat on the day. But the problem you have now with it being a handicap, you're going to get some trainers not trying that hard, aren't you? And they're going to be waiting for March. So you got that to throw in as well to the mix. So yeah, I'll just do some each way on the day just for something to do really.
Does that mean you'll do 5?
Okay.
No, definitely not 5.
only 4.
No, I'd rather do the Goffer at 66-1, I think, something like that.
Or Jevry.
Or Jevry, yeah.
Go for Jevry forecast, Johnny. There we go. We'll be millionaires by Friday evening.
That'd be good.
There you go. Okay, so Jevry for Alex, Arizona Cardinal for Ian, and Stumptown for Graham. And we finish off Friday's card with the City Post handicap hurdle over 3 mile. Ian, am I back to you by now? You can lead the way anyway.
Can be. It's not very original, OJ, but I can't see the favourite being beaten in a dying quest for the Skeltons. One over the distance in the November meeting. I think he's gone up £10 since that win, but he's still only carrying 11.4. So he's won his last 2 races at Cheltenham. I believe he beat Gal Road in that race in November, and he was still Gal Road was carrying 12 stone, and he's still carrying 12 stone. And I think he was about 5 lengths behind. So I still can't really see Gal Road being involved in that much. You've got horses like Mai Tai. He's not won over the distance. And there's just to end the Friday on a Henderson note. He's got a horse running in it called Baloo. Could be interested. He's stepping up in trip for the first time. But I've noticed his odds have been slashed from 33-1 to 14-1. So obviously someone knows something about the horse and might fancy it. But yeah, for the odds to be slashed that much, I thought was quite eye catching. But I'll go with the favourite, Dying Quest.
Dying Quest for Ian, who's been watching the markets. Wasn't me who moved it, mate.
No,
Surprise,
not your
surprise.
50p's.
Nope. We'll nip across to Alex, who I'm hoping Alex is going to say Wonderful Eagle here.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I like it's another real wild one for you, OJ. The one I like is he's 33-1. It's Antire. Now go back to March 2022. This is going back quite a way away. He was third in a Potemps qualifier, running off 136. Okay, finished third in that Potemps qualifier. Horse that won was Shoot First, who people were saying at the time was going to become a Stayers hurdle horse. Horse in second, Botox Has. Horse in fourth, Salvatore Ziggy, who obviously was second in the Potemps that year. He was then sixth in the Potemps that year himself, actually in the race. And then he ran no sort of race at Aintree. He was sort of rated 139 back then. Then last year he went over, he started this year, over fences, but he just didn't seem to take to them. So now he's switching back over to hurdles. His peak hurdles form puts him as like a 139 horse. He's running off 132. So I think he's got to have a chance considering he's £7 off his lowest mark. He didn't sort of disgrace himself over fences. I just don't think he particularly liked jumping the bigger obstacles. So I'm going to take a chance at the engine still there, considering he had a bit of time off. And if he retains anywhere near sort of the ability that he had, I think he should be going very close off 132. And he's 33-1. Yeah.
You got that glint in your eye again?
Just quite fancy him. He'll probably be last now, but yeah.
Thanks, Al. Jonny?
Yeah, no real strong opinion on this race, to be honest. I'd probably take an each way chance on Long Draw, who finished second last month behind the well-handicapped Hamzian, who Alex put up last time. Hoping that's quite strong form from basis of that race. Also, Ollie Murphy Stables in form, 9 winners in 37, 24% strike rate over this month. So in the last 14 days so far. So he's obviously doing well at the minute. So yeah, long draw each way, just that one for me in that race.
And that's talking about that form. That's why I was hoping I was going for the Wonderful Eagle, who was third, just behind long draw. Okay. Who haven't we spoken to?
Me.
Graham.
Sorry,
how could I forget?
For some reason, I've always been drawn towards Thanks for the Help. I don't know why, but he's always been drawn to it. But I'm not going to back it this time. He's let me down too many times now, so I'll give him the Thanks for the Help for nothing so far. I like long draw as well. I think the Murphy-Bowen combination are red hot at the moment, and you can just see them plotting this horse for this race. Antilia was, I've seen him up at the yard actually. He's a massive horse, and he seems to flatter to deceive, doesn't he? Really, a lot. He was a big talking horse when he first appeared. Not sure if he's really, well, I don't know. He hasn't cut it for a while, has it? I'm intrigued by that money on Baloo. That's an interesting. The 50p's have been going on that Henderson horse, haven't they? On all form, Doyen Quest win it early, but I've got a bit of an idea that long draw might be a. I'm going to share Johnny's view on that. I think it's got a sneaky chance. 11-1.
Love that. Thank you, Graham. So long draw, a bit of a fancy for Graham and Johnny. Always a bonus. Ian, you're on Doyen Quest, and Alex, big price anti, hoping that some old form is recaptured. Lovely. So that wraps up Friday. If I was to put you on the spot right now, boys, do you fancy giving us your best bet of the day for Friday? Give you a few seconds. I'm sure Alex has got his already. I can tell he's got that focused
no,
look.
Me.
I
need to double check them all.
Best bet of the day, Ian. Come on.
I'll go with Doyen Quest in the last.
Doyen Quest in the last for Ian. Graham.
I'm going to go for King Turgeon.
The pipe horse.
In the 150 Sonic the Hedgehog race.
Sonic the Hedgehog race. Thank you very much, Johnny.
You there, Johnny?
Am I on?
Oh, yeah, you're on.
Yeah. The newest one for me.
Newest one for Twiston Davis, and Alex has had a
I'll go
bit of
Will
a time
Mount.
to think.
Will Mount.
Will Mount. Lovely. Thank you, gents. Right. So moving on to Saturday. Obviously, we haven't had the decks in yet. There'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow morning as we're recording on Wednesday evening. 2 races we said we are going to have a look at. So the December Cold Cut 150 to begin with. Stage Star, Galore. Shaking my parry, he's not going to run here as if he's running Friday. Madara. Graham, have you had a chance to look at this one?
I did have a quick look at it. Obviously, Nichols is going mob-handed in this, isn't he, really, a little bit? He probably wants it to win it. I think one that really goes well around here is Fugitive. I think it really likes the place. Again, Sean Bowen's riding that for Richard Hobson. I think he's got a chance. And looking at the rest of the field, I would probably go with, quickly thinking about it, Fugitive.
Lovely. Thank you, Graham. Straight in there on that one. Il Ridotto was quite impressive the other week as well, wasn't it? Just noticed
carrying a feather.
Entered. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Fugitive for Graham. Ian?
I'm going to give you 2, OJ. I'm going to give you a win and a place. So we go with the winner first. I'm going to go with the horse that's second in the betting. I'm going to go with Madara. It's gone down £1 to 140 since he's 4th in the Paddy Power Gold Cup last month here. I think it was hampered 4 out, but it's still run on to get the full spot. It's carrying 10.6. It'd be interesting to see now. The horse has changed about 48 times this season. How the Skeltons get on with him. I know he won at Cheltenham in December last year, carrying a similar sort of weight. The horse I like, it's potentially an each way price. I think he's 14-1 at the minute. Is Le Patron. Had a good 2023. Won the Henry VIII at Sandown. 4th in the Scilly Isles. Well, I think was hampered by a faller. Has won first time out a couple of weeks ago at Newbury. Carried 11.5, but he's got Freddie Mitchell taking 5 off again and I think he's had 3 wins in his last 8 rides, Freddie, which is quite a good strike rate. So we'll go with Madara for the win and Le Patron cut 50p each way, OJ.
Good man. Good man. Freddie Mitchell, the old ITV racing, I'm sure Graham will have been watching. They he rode really well at Newbury the other week, didn't he? He got a fair bit of exposure. Did he ride 2 winners on the day at Newbury?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, looked good. Okay, thank you, Ian. Alex.
I love Madara. I'm a big fan. And I see everything Ian said, but my concern is whether they've got their eye on something at the festival in mind instead for him. I don't know. I don't know if he looked like a bit of a non-try, didn't he, last time? Just sat at the back, and then once the race was over, he just sort of ran past a load of beating horses because he just hadn't been used. Just wondering if they might try and do that again. I don't really know. If there's vibes on the day that he's right and they're going for it, then I'll probably back him. But if not, I'll be siding with what Graham said with Fugitive. Last year, obviously, he won this race last year off a pound higher. So off 150 this time, 151 last time. His prep for the race last year was finishing 4th in the Paddy Power, beating 15 lengths. This year he was 5th in the Paddy Power, beating about 15 lengths. So pretty much the same preparation, pound lower. What's not to like? So yeah, Fugitive for me.
Nice and confident. Both of you seemed pretty confident on Fugitive. Interesting. Go on then, Jonny.
Yeah, I'm actually going for one that I don't normally back. Not normally a fan, but I'm going for your favourite, Galore, OJ. Only nudged up a pound for that second last time, while Il Rodotto won the race, was given £8. So I fancy him to swing that form around. Obviously likes it round here, being a course and distance winner. I just think he's got every chance in this. Decent price. Obviously, Gavin Sheehan on, decent jockey as well. I think he's, I think he'd be there or thereabouts again. Going down the order, I think my old favourite James de Belay might be worth an each way bet as well for old time's sake. I always follow him, and normally gives his all as well. So, but I think Galore is going to win this, to be honest.
Lovely. That'd be nice, Jonny.
It would. You'll be wanking, OJ.
Well, I lost you then, Jonny. It was yeah, that's Ian's domain. We'll leave that to him. Right, move on. Okay, Fugitive for Alex and Graham. Johnny's going for Galore, and Ian on Madara. Could be, yeah. Well, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning will be interesting then, won't it? There's a fair few jocked up in here already, according to the Racing Post. So hopefully we'll get a decent field. Okay, so the other one we did say we were going to have a look at was the Bristol Novices Hurdle at 3 o'clock. Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle, 3 o'clock, 3 mile. This was the one, Graham, you mentioned just before we started recording, Skyjack Hijack. So maybe you want to lead the way on this one for us?
Well, this horse has been absolutely fantastic. I think in all the, it started off pretty low grade. It's got better and better. Beat some good horses at Exeter. It's near Forerunner Field, I think, but it absolutely spun his way around there. Won at Newcastle last time. And I think that, there's nothing going to stop it at the moment. I'm not sure what's going to really take it on, because it'll just bomb along in front. I think the one thing that might beat it is the track. It's a bit more undulating than some of the places it's been at, but I'm going to follow it. Skyjack Hijack for a 7th win. Is it on the spin? Remarkable if it does it. That's the one for me.
Love it. Thank you very much, Graham. Jonny, did you have anything in here?
Yeah, I'm going for the Ace of Spades. It's just really interesting that he's been markedly stepped up in trip after winning over 2 miles here last time. And now he's running in an Albert Bartlett trial, which is a bit strange. And if you look at the pedigree, the sire and the dam sire were only milers as well. So it's a bit of an odd one, really. But he did look better the further he went last time. And after the race, Dan seemed really, really bullish in the parade ring afterwards that he's got a good one on his hand. So as long as it doesn't go too soft, hopefully you can get the trip and see it out. Again, Dan's stable, going well at the moment. I think the 25% strike rate in the last 14 days as well. So they've had quite a few winners. So I think that should go well if it can see out the trip.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's big step up.
It's a big step up, yeah. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. Lovely. Thank you, Jonny. Ian, boss man, rain man, con man.
I'm not very original again, but I'm going to echo what Graham was saying about Skyjack Hijack. I think he's going to win again. It would totally blow his mark. Was he on 138? So you'll have to go for the. I know this is the Albert Bartlett hurdle, and I think he won't be able to go into a handicap after this. But yeah, just what a season he's had. He's won all through the summer, and he's keeps winning now. Again, I think he'll win on Saturday and probably get put away. I'll say get put away. Probably keep running every week, but I think he'll be a major contender in the Bartlett come the festival. But yeah, Skyjack Hijack for me.
Lovely. Thank you, Ian. And Alex.
Another one I have no real major fancy, but I don't know. I think he's a very vulnerable favourite. He's up £41 from his first win. I mean, he's rated 97. Now he's off 138. So
he just keeps winning, Alex. Isn't it?
It's winning.
He does, but he's beating absolute dogs, isn't he? At like crap flat tracks. So yeah, I'll be happy to take him on, but I just don't know what I'm going to take him on with yet. The French one looks a bit weird. He's been running over I don't know. Ignore that, yeah. But I don't know. It's just a bit odd. Bit of an odd race. Not really too sure who I think is going to win, but I don't think the favourite will win.
I was going to say it's interesting that he's 9-4 at the early prices compared to 6-1 of Ace of Spades. And Ace of Spades trained by Skelton and Jenny Candlish trained Skyjack. But I know it's won 6 times, but it has won on flat tracks. And I think the only thing will be the track itself. The undulations might do him, but I'm all for throwing in on the Skyjack. I think let's give it another go. It'd be brilliant if it did win.
It would be. I don't know. I think it's probably the end of the road. He's gone up £41. If he's going to win this, he's got to have another few pounds in hand. So he'll be having to go up nearly £50. So yeah.
It's a lot. Clearly can carry it, can it? It can carry the weight, all right, can it? So
he's won about 50 races, but he's won about 20 grand of prize money. So I think that probably tells you how many races
he doesn't know that, does he? He doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't.
Let him go.
Who knows, Alex?
Sorry, OJ.
Who knows? You could be knocking it round Cleve Hill off 12 handicap this year and winning the PGA Championship at Wentworth next year.
Yeah, well, that's the equivalent, isn't it? It's me winning the Masters next year. That's kind of the equivalent. Actually,
I'm not sure about that, Alex.
From Bartlett, like
that's a big stretch. That is, you winning the Masters this year.
Yeah,
well, one, you're not in it.
The Gloucestershire Masters, Graham. Not Augusta. The Gloucestershire Masters.
Oh, right. Sorry.
We'll buy you a green jacket. We got many in the coffers, Al. We'll get you a green jacket. Lovely. Thank you, chaps. So Skyjack Hijack for Graham and Ian. Ace of Spades for Johnny. Alex is watching.
Hate Skyjack. Hate Skyjack. He's a Skyjack hater, he is.
Skyjack hater.
Poor lady training the.
Right. On the Saturday.
Thinking of responses at the moment.
I just don't know what to say to this, Graham. It's just
he's fuming, aren't you?
He's fuming, and he's fuming.
Alex, if Skyjack Hijack wins, does it mean Gameface has still got potential for me to win a national?
If that wins, then what was the other horse you used to like? Dawson City might come out of retirement as well.
If Skyjack wins, Alex, get behind the camera with Chapman, all right? And start punching the air behind him, okay? All right?
Oh, I can't do that.
You can. Go on, you can do it. You've done
I'll
it before.
I'll go and meet Plunkett and she'll give me a nickname.
Yeah, great. Well, you have had a picture taken with her, haven't you?
Have I?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
Probably.
Yeah, shocking.
Graham's fuming now.
Don't you remember that? I was talking to her and you came up and you and Dex came up and said, I said, could you have a picture? And then you started talking to her about nonsense and she just said, oh, this is wonderful talking to you boys.
Right.
Okay. It's great talking to you boys, but I've got to get on.
I'm sure I'd had a few Guinnesses before then, Graham. So
You had, yeah, absolutely. You did
I
say she was the most. You did say she was the most wonderful person on TV, and she loved that.
Oh, did I? Oh,
yes, she did.
definitely
Yeah.
had a few Guinnesses then.
She believed you as well.
Love it. Love it.
Anyway.
Can't imagine Alex speaking nonsense ever.
That's just what I do all the time, OJ.
Right. Saturday. Anybody fancy anything else? The 225 BetMGM handicap chase over 2 mile looked like it potentially could be decent if a few of these run. Liberty Hunters one that I've been waiting to come back out. Anybody had a look at that race at all?
Yeah, all I want is another quiet ride for unexpected party. Sit out the back, don't do a stitch, hack up in March.
Ooh.
There we go.
I'm interested.
Johnny's watching that one.
Interested in Third Time Lucky because that was bought specially bought for Fergal to run in something last year. Got injured, back again to try again. I'm interested to find out what he's actually being aimed for. That horse. They think he's going to win something at the festival, but I don't know which race they're going to go for. But
You'd imagine
possibly.
Grand Daniel or Clay.
Possibly, yeah. But
He was with the Skeltons, was he? Third Time Lucky.
that's right.
Yeah.
And he was. I remember that they bought him and they straight away were punting him big time, but he got injured, didn't he? I think, and he didn't run at the festival.
So I'm sure it was the Grand Daniel.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Pretty sure.
It'll be 10 by the time the festival comes around. So
yeah,
maybe,
I know,
yeah.
But
Lovely. Alex, did you anything in there?
Yeah, just like what Graham said, Third Time Lucky is sort of the main sort of other sort of fancy I'll be having a bet on. I thought he ran really well for a long time on his reappearance behind Matata and just got a bit tired late on, and I think he'll come on loads for that. So he's got plenty of course form here. I think he won at both it was either October and November or November and December a few years ago. So clearly handles the course. And yeah, just nice to see him back out really.
Lovely.
That's my only sort of main one. Ian's got a few fancies because Henderson's got a load of runners, so Ian will have to give
I've
them all.
got some more as well.
Go to the lads, OJ. I'm just I haven't got anything for the rest of the card. I noticed, not in this particular race, but in the first race, that James Owen has currently got 3 all in the same colours. I think he's got Liberty Hunter and what's the other one that got beat recently? Lavender Hill Mob.
Liberty Hunter's Evan Williams, isn't it? He's in
not Liberty Hunter. Sorry, Liam Swagger. Sorry, not Liberty Hunter. I'm looking at the previous one. Liam Swagger, Lavender Hill Mob, and he's got Ambiente Amigo.
Yeah.
But, be interested to see, particularly if he gets one out of the 3 picks, which one will go for this race. But I'm probably more interested in Liam Swagger to see how it gets on, potentially for the Triumph Hurdle.
Lovely.
Yeah. OJ,
I can't believe in that juvenile hurdle we've got Melon. Oh no, it's not that Melon.
OJ, in that race, as soon as I nailed it last time with East India Dock, I'm going to have another go at it.
Go
on, Johnny.
The 2 I've noted down, both flat recruits, were Ocean Conquest, ran in some decent maidens on the flat and managed to win one at Punchestown back in last September, rated 93 on the flat. Again, you've got to take the jump in, haven't you, as red, but hopefully should go well. And the other one was Total Luck, who's already had a run over hurdles and won. So he might be a bit sharper than Ocean Conquest. He was rated 87 on the flat, and I think he had a few wins as well on the flat, so he looks quite decent. So they're the 2 I've narrowed it down to at the moment. So we'll see on the day which one shows up. Like so, but yeah, you've got to be aware of the other ones that Ian mentioned as well, because they're obviously targeting this race, aren't they? The Triumph, aren't they? So they're using these races as their preps. So yeah, should be a decent race.
I noticed that Hillcrest is entered in the 1240. Should be
Yes.
interesting to see if it runs.
He's down on my notes as well, Graham. Hillcrest and Peaky Boy in that race are two that I've got my eye on as well.
Along with Baloo, which was Ian's market moving horse, also entered there. If Paul,
I've got a question for Ian actually, OJ.
Go on,
Ian. You told us that you'd seen an interview with Gordon Elliott where he said that his best bumper horse is running at Cheltenham this week.
Yeah.
There's no bumper on the card.
I know. I just noticed that. He was interviewed on Racing TV, and they said that he's about his bumpers. Said the best one will run at Cheltenham, but yeah,
there's no bumper on this card, so I'm not sure where. Maybe he's running at Cheltenham in the USA.
Although been on the wine.
That's elite info. That is.
Yeah, elite.
So elite. It's being kept under wraps.
Transmissions in this race, OJ.
Oh,
James Bowen on this time, not Mr. Mullins, Patrick Mullins from Neil Mulholland. So he could be one in that 1240.
It's actually won a race since, Ian, since I jinxed it. Has actually won.
It won in Cheltenham, didn't it?
Yeah. So anything else at all on the cards that may have taken anybody's eye? Johnny, you said you may have another couple Saturday.
No, I think I've mentioned them all now. It was Peaky Boy and Hillcrest with the other two, OJ, that I mentioned. So just keen to see if they go.
Okay, lovely. Anybody else? Anything else? Show your hands now, or forever hold your peace.
No, I'm good, thank you.
I'll just say, why not in the last race? I think.
Oh, is that a daily horse?
That's a daily horse, yes. If it runs.
He won in October, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Skip round and won it very easily, didn't it?
Was also behind Long Draw in November and Hamzian.
Hamzian. Did anyone mention Hamzian, Alex, at the time?
I think I might have put him up on the show, didn't I? When he was like 12-1 or something, didn't I?
You may have done.
I think I did, yeah. But spotted the crook.
We haven't mentioned it.
No, I haven't mentioned it yet.
We cleaned up last time, didn't we?
What, me or Tony Martin?
Lovely. Well, gents, we've ticked over the hour mark. I think I've probably talked at least 15 minutes of nonsense that Ian can edit out a bit later on. So by the time this goes out, we should be down to 3/4 of an hour. But fantastic. Thank you all for your input. Graham, wonderful to finally meet you virtually.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Graham.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for the invite. Anytime.
No, thank you for your wonderful input. It's been brilliant having you on. And hopefully you'll come on again very soon.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Great.
It's Alex said to me there's a fee involved or something, is there?
Yeah, that's it. We won't charge you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We told Ian not to go too hard on you.
All right, okay. Brilliant. Thank you, gents.
So, anybody out there watching, if you watch the video, you have any fancies yourself, stick them in the comments, like, share, and so on. Make sure you listen to Radio Winchcombe, is it, Graham?
Yeah, I'm not on at the moment. I'm on the bench at the moment because they've they drifted towards more locals doing it, and that means it's crap basically. So when I'm on it, it's brilliant because it's crap at the moment. I promise you, it's rubbish. But I'm sure I'll get the call. But very soon I'll get the call back. Don't worry.
Get him on.
Graham will be back on as soon as Everton turn the corner in the football season. The stadium stops.
Yeah, the flooding stadium.
No, great to have you on, lads. Pleasure as always to see you, Matty. We hope you're not too battered and bruised, and that we'll see you again soon as well. Connor at Racing Pins, thank you very much. As always, And yeah, enjoy the racing this weekend, everyone. And we'll speak to you all again soon.